Bishop Driscoll Clark, aka Andre Clark. So I'm back at the organ. Mm, so I haven't practiced. I did play a little bit at church, and that was just a little bit. I didn't play much, very little. But what I played at church, y'all seen that on my videos. Alright. So this is your bold Bishop Driscoll Clark, aka Andre Clark, once again. So yes, I played a little bit Sunday, very little, very extremely little bit. My replacement played the majority of the service, but so I played very little. But what I did play was stuff that I practiced, that I've been practicing on. So I did do a little bit of this. So I did a little bit of that. Then I did a little bit of it. Let me see, I think I'll go stuff like that. Alright. So, I remember I always had that saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. Stuff like that. Let me see. I didn't do a lot. Alright, so I had my pile of stuff to do, and I was just thinking before I got on the organ. It's pretty thick, and my thought process is go through it, but not necessarily memorize it. Go through it to see if can I do the work, and then I'm gonna come back and memorize the work. Yeah. And ever since I got sick and ill, my mindset is completely different. Not to say I can't memorize what I'm doing sometimes, but they do say repetition makes a man's best friend when you're repeating stuff over. So I'm finding myself more and more practicing in small bite-sized practice, and that's for beginner musicians. When you first learning, some of us can handle a lot, and some of us may have to do a little bit by little bit. So I'm finding myself having to just chisel at it a little bit by little bit. So I ran through this, but not necessarily memorize every piece verbatim. What I mean, like literally, like if I pull this out, I'm gonna remember the whole deal up until where I've stopped off at. But to try to memorize most of whatever I practice on, So some of it. So most of it I remember. Ah. Sometimes you forget. Alright. So, um, some of y'all probably say, well, what's the point of going through something and then not memorizing? Sometimes I do it just to see can I actually pull it off because believe me, some stuff can be really, 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 really challenging. So you listen to stuff. Ah, it's a lot to take in. Especially when you learning something from somebody, it's a lot to take in and absorb all of that too. Will I ever use it? That's the question. So my thing is, what is my takeaway from most of it? So playing some of this might be good in my favor to a certain point. Then I might change it and do something else. And then, oh, I might go. So I may not always. If there's a takeaway from stuff when you're learning from somebody, um, you picking up ideas. Once you learn the arrangement, about it. All right. So, my whole goal is takeaway. I may not do all of this stuff, but just say, just for the practice purpose. Now I want to solidly remember it. Now I want to memorize the whole thing, one at a time. But what I like to do is I go through it, see can I actually play the material, and then keep it pushing, and then I'll come back to it later. It's kind of like I got this whole shuffle, and I'm like, man, I got this whole stack of stuff I want to learn how to do in one shot. But that's not gonna happen unless I'm retired and I don't have to go to work, and all I have to do is get up every day like I'm going to work, and come in here on the organ and practice like as if I'm at a job, get paid to do this. But I'm not getting paid to do this, right? This is just more of a, we say, a hobby, or something that we might say I just enjoy playing the organ. It just sounds so cool to my ears when I get on the organ and just do what I do. But yeah, that part. So alright. So I'll put the material in front of me just to see can I actually play the moves, and then I'll come back to it because now somewhat of me sitting and spending the time playing it, not exactly practicing it, but just play it. Not exactly practicing it to memorize it, but just to see can I actually do it. Because I have run across stuff, I'll be like, oh my god, this is most definitely challenging to have to sit here and figure out stuff to whatever is going on musically wise. So I said, let me just get this stack out of my way. Otherwise, I'll go to my electronic devices and pull something up and get distracted that route too. So I'm just trying to go through this real quick every day just to see can I play it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be with rhythm or nothing like that. It's just dropping my hands on the keyboard and said, all right, this is, let me see what up, let me see what's up. Somebody said, you got this, Doc, you got this. You know, but sometimes my mind is just not like with it at times. And a lot of the stuff that I did over the years, I never got a chance to practice it. I mean, like to really like practice it, like for real, practicing it and memorize it, and then use it. I always have that saying: if you don't use it, you lose it. So for musicians who coming up, if you don't use it, nowhere, you will lose it at some point. And then you find yourself at church. Oh my God! This did happen to me Sunday, and I didn't expect the pastor to bust out and ask me to do it, but it was right at the end of the service when we was doing prayer, um, and I think it was right after we did. Let me see, was it before? After he preached, that's what it was. It was after he preached. So I'm on the organ, just kind of like flowing with it, and then I was flowing with something else. I can't remember what I was flowing with, but whatever I was doing at the moment, it was cool for the moment. Then he flipped it, said, "Hey, can you do a little bit of this song?" And I was discombobulated because I didn't expect that he would ask that song again. But at the time when the song was sung already in praise and worship, I thought that was over with. And then he got up and then he preached. And then when he was finished ending, and then it was more or less altar call, so to speak. So I got on and was just kind of like, I don't remember everything I was playing. And so, and bust out, and then he busts out. Oh, I know what it was. I was playing, Yes Lord, I think, Yes Lord. I was in the middle doing that. And then, he busted out and said, hey, can you play a little bit of, this one other song? And I was like, what? And I hadn't practiced it. I knew the chords, but I couldn't get my arrangement together because it was like me coming from D flat to E flat. And so then I was like, I knew to go to that minor move. It's your season. That's what he asked you. Full grace. And I couldn't think of the chord for nothing. I was like, wait a minute, I went from da 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 to D flat down to E flat da da. Oh, actually up to the E flat. Now I was already in the spirit because I was following him. And then he just busted out and said, hey, can you give me a little bit of this song? It's your season. And so I was like, huh? Yeah, for altar call, like that just threw me for a minute because I was thinking that song was more of, I don't know, on a different level in a different spot in a different part of the service. So I was like, huh? And so anyway, I had to do some real quick, fast thinking. Like, wait a minute, hold on, I'm gonna go from D flat to E flat, just because I was already E playing. I love you, Lord. I love you, Lord. I love you, Lord. Today, brother, because you care for me. And then he's like, hey, Brother Musician, can you give me that song called Is Your Season, or whatever. And I was like, what? And then, Is Your Season for Grace. I was confused. Is a season for grace. I was like, what? I was like, okay, bro. Just go to that D minor 911. You'll be all right once you get there. But yeah, that threw me for a minute because I wasn't expecting him to say, hey, give me a little bit that. But then when he was talking in the prayer, it didn't match to me. I'm just saying as a musician, it didn't match for what he was talking about. That's what threw me. And I was like, what? Wait a minute. Yeah, anybody actually experienced something like that? That was a little bit different for me. I didn't, yeah, I went with it. Um, uh, yeah, from D flat to E flat, and I was like, huh? Yeah, because just think about it. I'm gonna love you, Lord, I love you, Lord, I love you, Lord, today because you care for me. Hey, brother, musicians, can you give me that song? It's Your Season, and I was like, huh? It's your season for grace. I was like, what? I was like, my brain. I was looking over, like, huh? Um, and so I couldn't even remember the the main chord with this chord. I was just confused. I was like discombobulated, like what? And I was looking for my wife to kind of like cue me in, but she was in a whole nother place in a whole nother world. I was like, help me out, cause he was talking, but he wasn't matching. It wasn't match. What I was playing earlier, like I said, was matching to what he was saying. I love you, love. I love you, love. Listen, saints. The Lord love you, love today, because all you have to believe in the Lord and trust in Him, and stuff like that. But all of a sudden, in the middle, right in the middle, he said, "Hey, but the musician, can you give me that song? It's Your Season." I'm like, huh? It's Your Season. I was like, huh? I went straight to the minor 9 move, but I should have went, it's your season. Because after I went straight, hey, brother, Bishop, give me that song, it's your season. I should have went, it's your season. For grace. I was confused at first, for a minute. And then at first when I heard him say it, I thought he was just saying it, but then he said, Brother Maestro, can you give me a little bit of that song? And then I go, wait a minute, is he saying, okay, he's asking me, okay, hold on. And I had to be for sure he was saying it, but then that changed to move over to that song in that key because that was the key that they sung it in before he preached. Y'all catch what I'm saying? So I was like, what? Huh? Wait. Now y'all probably say, well, couldn't I have played that song in the key of D flat when I was there? But my brain would not allow me to even utter to do it in that key. And the answer to that question, yes, I could play it in that key. I just couldn't focus to that key because I have always learned to, all right, play the song in the key that the song was in. Now, how he start singing the song in that key that I was already in, I would have eventually went to the voicing to that song, to that key. Because it's just, you playing your, what bass line I'm doing this song with A. And so if I'm in, I think this is E flat, I guess. I'm on B flat, B flat. What key is this song in, y'all? E flat minor, whatever y'all want to call it. So I mean, you know, 2 keys down. 1, 2, 3. It's your season for your grace. Hold on. Into the minor 9. Wait, hold on. Hold on. We gonna yeah. So I always say 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 1. It's your season for grace. Yeah. So then let's see. I would have went to E flat, and then 1, 2, 3 would have been. It's your season for your grace. No, for your grace. And your. Oh, I forgot the chord. Hold on, my brain went. Hold on. C minor 9. Yeah, it's your season for your grace. And up into well, my bass line will be then I will go to D flat. 1, 2, 3, B. It's your season. F minor 9 for your. I forgot what I just played. F minor 9 for your D minor 9, E flat minor 9, C minor 9, and then flavor. And then I probably would play. Let me see what voice I would do here. 1, 2. Let's see. B flat, A flat, A flat. It's your season. Oh, I forgot what was the chord I was gonna go to. Oh yeah. Oh, hold on, I just lost it that quick. I just lost my mind. Hold on, lost my mind. D minor 9, 1, 2, 3, C minor 9. I keep it remember. See, it's your F minor 9 to C minor 9. Full flat. B flat minor 9. Well, how the voice sound was it? Is your season for your grace? Yeah. So I'm going to E flat. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. D flat. Let's see, what am I doing? I'm trying to remember how I will play the voicing. I think I'll probably do this. See? I lost my thought now. But anyway, because all you're doing, but that it all depends on the voicing you're gonna use. But this is still your G minor 9, D minor 9, and then I'm going to E flat. So let's see. So I say E flat, E flat, E flat to D flat major 9, D flat major 9, transpose, which I kind of heard that in my. So it all depends on how I started. So see, which way I'm going? Yeah, F minor 9. It's a season for it's a season for grace. I can't remember. My brain just went to sleep. C minor 9. Okay, so you is your favorite. And then I go to here. B flat major 9. But you approach this song so many different ways. So yeah, he threw me when I was saying what? All right, let me get back to my craziness. Alright, so I'm just putting chords in front of me for right now. C minor 9, G minor 7, 11. We talked about this in my book. The D7, sharp 9, flat 5, or it depends on which way you want to look at that, but play this a lot. So now I have this little thing in my mind. So it's kind of like a bump. So basically my bass line is going to go. I just need the rhythm to mess with this, but anyway, now I can change the bass line, go C, A flat, down to G, E flat, down to D, A flat, down to G. Now it's just changing the rhythmic with the pedal. D flat down, G, A flat, down to G, E flat, down to D. Ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, 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 bum, bum, ba-dum, 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 bum, bum, ba-dum, 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 bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Now you can change that whole rhythm to bum, 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 bum. So it all depends on how you want to rhythm it when you do that. Then I start throwing other little moves with it. But just as long as I get my target chord. C, A flat, now I'm doing that. But supposed to go C, G, D, E flat, down to D. But so C, G, E flat, D, A flat to G, C sharp, back down to C. So I'm now kind of like going, okay, I can now add the other bass line. C sharp down first. Bum. Change up the rhythm too. Alright, so now I got the chords in my head. As much I want to go with the bounce. C, A flat, or the bounce. Right, so now I can see I can mess around with that one. Let me see what's the next one. C sharp, F sharp. Let me say, hold on. C sharp. I'm wondering. C sharp, A flat, F sharp, A, E flat, D, E flat. I must be going A flat. Let me see. Hold on. Let me just do the target chord. Let me see in my mind. A flat. I must go to F sharp. And then the target chord A. Or actually, let me see how I'm gonna pull this one off. Let me see how I'm gonna pull this one off. Alright, let's probably pull it off like this. Normie inside. E flat down to D. Because I hear my. Let me do the target chord first. Target chord. Let me see. E flat. So let me think how I've written this. I'm trying to remember. Starting to make no sense to my head right now. A. I'm trying to remember what I was thinking of when I did it. Sometimes I'll be writing stuff I don't remember what I was thinking of when I did it. Let me see. F sharp. A. Now I think I originally did that. Yeah, that was what I originally written. And I started doing the inversion. That's what it was, okay. Even though I didn't write it, I wrote the inversion of it. Some of the stuff I'm trying to remember. So let me see, and then D. Okay, so now over a period of time I'll be. I told y'all earlier, I'll be transcribing stuff, and I'm like, man, bro, what are you even doing? Let me see what this one is talking about. This one looks easier. And then A. Why is the A? Why is the A going to the F? I'm not sure. Hold on. Hold on. Let me go do the target chord first. I guess we go to F. Actually, probably A. Yeah, so A. Now where does the F come in at? E. Okay, so I gotta get my brain to what was I thinking when I did it. Okay, I know what I was thinking there. Okay, let me see what I'll do on B flat or E. Or either one of them actually. And matter of fact, actually I don't like the way I voiced this because I can tell I was experimenting. F come in? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Oh, so I'm walking to it. Dun, okay, dun. Trying to figure out where would that come in at. Okay, now when did the E come in? Now normally I would have did this voice. Let me see. Hold on. So now my brain is thinking. Start changing it now. Because when you're on the organ, it gives a different vibe. Then so that's over D, E, E and B flat. Watch it. Okay, now then I go to A. What was I thinking even when I did this? Now my brain is thinking E flat. Alright, now even when I was thinking this voicing, because I'm playing the minor chord, my left hand's gonna do an inversion. Alright, what's the next one? Down. So I did some more stuff. E flat. Okay, I think I know this one. Where did the B flat come in at? I can write stuff trying to figure out. I don't know what I did, y'all. I'm just let me see. I'm gonna play what I've written. B flat to F sharp to F to B. Stuff don't make no sense to me at first. Hey, I got the wrong tritone. Nope. Now you see my ears is thinking. I'm adding to the move now. Oh. Okay. Now most of the stuff that I did is I'm rewriting it. So let me see what time it is. I have to take my medication on time. Alright, so I'm gonna go back over this stuff again because the arrangement that I written it at the time, I don't know what I was thinking, but whatever I was thinking, that's what I played. And then I'm thinking, okay, let me do better with it. Now I'm just trying to figure out what was I thinking. D to A, that's what got me tripping now. To F, to E. Now remember, now I'm gonna do some changing because I'm not really feeling this. So I'm gonna add. Because now my brain is saying, oh, okay. To B flat. Alright. So mine may be going. Let me see, I guess I go how am I doing this? D A F, or is it the other way? The way I look like I'm reading it, I said D A F, or is it the high D A F, or is it the other way? So now I have to decide. So I guess I'll start with the low voice. And then at some point I might go, now I'm making it dirty. And I may just go with the bass line moving A to the F. So let me think. Starting to make sense. And now my left hand's adding. After that, B flat. Drop down to the A. Oh, okay, I see what's up. It's the minor move. Alright, I got it now. And I moved up to E flat. Oh, talk music. Right? Now I'm walking the pedals now. I didn't do that before. So now D minor 9, E 11. E flat. Now I might walk up to B flat. Watch this. E. And walk up to the A. Right? Walk up to the A voicing. Now, if the A is not conducive, I would went to the E flat. But the A was for sure to the E flat. So now go to the rest of that voicing again. And knowing me, I want to do my thing there. Because that puts me on A voicing. Alright, even though this is the chord I'm supposed to be going to. And it's really a sus4 chord. Technically. G, A, and B is a G chord. So basically I'm just going G minor 9 to a G chord over A or F. We're doing this over A, so we're going. I'm sorry. What's the chord? Yeah, D minor 9. Right. And then we're gonna go to a G chord over A. F. Down to this voicing. Walk up. Or slide up. Slide up to it. I'm there. Well, I'm sorry. Keep either wrong. There it is. Now I have to realize I'm using two hands to do this now. Because after I leave here, and it's really me playing the sus4 with the tritone. With the sus2, it was just the higher voicing. Over E flat. Now I'm dropping into tritone. Make it pretty. E flat. I'm gonna just go straight to E flat to B flat. E to B flat. And then now we got this voicing here. Now remember I talked about the tritone. Right. All we're playing is the major 7 with the flat 5, G major. I mean, wait, yeah, because we go. This is the minor 7 flat 5. I'm talking about him. Right now we got the A bass line. Now because I played the G, now I got the tritone here and the tritone here. Now I'm adding to the move. Back to the minor 9, D minor 9, to G, go to A, F, E, B flat, and then here we go with this more. thinking. So now since I've added some moves or some notes to the whole thing, go to G, F, right? Now watch this. I don't necessarily have to go to what I say A, right? I can go straight to what? E flat. E flat, then A. Well, that's the opposite. But in this case, we did go A first to E flat. And I went high E flat. Alright, so I'm gonna do some add on to this, okay? That's the only thing I'm gonna add there. The left hand, the tritone on the bottom. Alright, so we'll have D on the bottom. And actually, I can actually go ahead and I can make my left hand do it. But I'm gonna separate it, of course. And pull it off this way. Now, remember I was playing the sus4 chord or sus2 and the sus4 chord, but I also had remember that tritone earlier. So now I have this whole little voicing in my left hand. So now my left hand is playing the D tritone, and then my right hand I have to get rid of the D and go ahead and put C and D in the right hand. And I'm twanging. Go up to B flat. And I think what I'm doing is twanging it up to B flat. Now that kind of make me want to rewrite that when I go to B flat. And say, okay, separate the B flat move on the next line underneath it, actually. So in other words, take out the B flat, knowing I'm going to B flat, but put the B flat right underneath it. All right, and I'm holding still down the D and A flat, and then my right hand is gonna hold down C and D. Alright, so because this makes me rewrite this as talk music, C, and then I'm twanging it to the G, and then the high note at the top, which is C. Alright, so when I'm on E to B flat, see the fingers. Change the whole movement now. Go to A, F, walk down to alright, then that makes me now change my left hand and go and say, alright, we're gonna put the C sharp on the bottom of the left hand. We're gonna move the C sharp up to the right hand. My finger might possibly, let's see, hold on, I might end up doing this, never know. Now that's when we go, let me see, we go. Right now we're gonna go up to the A bass line, and now we're going to A bass, and then I'm gonna go A to E flat. I'm like it's an accident. It's like me going to A, hitting what am I hitting? C, D, E flat. It's an accident. Oop, I never thought of that. Oh yeah, I have. I've thought of that. But anyway, I got 5 minutes to go. Alright, so now you see, sometimes you can learn an idea from somebody else and then end up changing it. Actually, I still had a few more to go. Actually, that was me making my little adjustments here. I got what 2 more pages to do. So that very first one. Let me go back to the first one. So C, and then we said we was going to G, E flat, while holding that voicing. That's the way it was written. Stay on E flat, drop down to now. While I'm there, you hold that same chord over the A flat. Okay, so I'm not gonna change that. And then down to G. Hold that same portion over to G to A to C sharp. And then we're back to the same chord. It's like you gotta be there. So that's just sound like a drum. So I'm holding that a little longer. Holding it a little longer. And then I can do what I want to do, you know. So I'm saying, so it's kind of pretty cool to do that. Actually, I dropped that low. That was an accident. Oops. All right. Drummer for that, but anyway, and then this other one, now I gotta figure out what I want to do with it, because let's see, I said C sharp, F sharp, A flat, A. I must be going E flat, D, E flat. I'm not sure what I was thinking when I did this. Oh, bump. But okay, I think it's similar to this other move I was doing. Just transposed it. All right. Okay, I think this one is the same thing. Just transpose. I think I'm only assuming. But I don't like that voice. That's probably what I would probably do, but let me see. Who can I reach? Let me see. I don't think I can reach it. Let me see. I might have to improvise. Let me see. How did I reach that? I must have played it every day. How I do that? Unless it did. I don't know what I'm thinking. There's no way I can twang that up. There's no way I can twang that. Unless I must have went. Twanging. However I did it. So I must be thinking, Because there's no way you can do that. Unless I skip the beat. Don't it sound whack? Because I have to somehow hit the beat. That's impossible. My clock is going off for the medication thing. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me see. I'm locked to this. Hold on. Hey. This is impossible. How am I going to pull this off? There's no way. I guess I might have to put the E there because there's no way I twanged that. I don't know how I did it. I wrote it saying that I twanged up to it. Maybe I did. I must have slid off. Ain't no way. There's no way I can reach that. But yes, I do it that way. That's impossible. I must have been drinking. I think I might have did it. There's no way I can pull that off other than do it this way. That way and reach up. That sounds kind of whack because there's no way I'm gonna be able to do that. Get straight to it for sure. And now I'll just add the E to the left hand. Alright, so let me move the E over because there's no way I can twang that up there. So yeah. Somehow I must have did it, but I don't know how I did it. I might have. Everything I must have did it somehow. Boom, boom. So bump, A flat to F sharp. But the way I look like I'm writing it is C sharp, F sharp to A flat. Yeah, that's what. Then, yeah, I have to go straight to the chord. Or inversion. I would have did this. I like that voicing better actually. And this is probably I wouldn't have to do with a rhythm actually, matter of fact. And then see E flat, how I'm doing that one. Okay, so we're just going A to E flat. And then drop down to okay. And then back up to the E flat. Alright, so let me see, I might have to tweak this again. See. And then see if I go this route. And I believe I went this route originally actually. Versus I think my brain was thinking doing it. Either way, okay, it sounded kind of cool. I think I might reposition this again. So let me switch this over. C sharp going to the left side. And we gotta get rid of C sharp over here. Ooh, okay. And then we'll put B on the bottom. So I have to get rid of this whole little thing here. Let me see, B, C sharp, E flat, and then F sharp. I think that was originally what I written in, and then I can go inversion and move up to. Hold up. I think that's probably what I was thinking. Something like that. And I may have switched the hand. Either way, switch up. Alright, so let me see. Then we go to E flat with the same thing. And then come down to D. And we know this is the minor move. Not. I had that in my idea. I didn't write it down, but I had that idea. Okay, I gotta go take my meds, y'all. 6:05. Alright. So at least I got most of this. Actually, I didn't do the last page. Alright, the last page. Let me just run through it on 1 second, real quick. Thank you. Alright, G minor, E minor 9. I see that in my head, but anyway. Okay, why are we going to B or G? B and G. Why are we doing that? Yeah, we just played that. Remember, I just told y'all a minute ago. Now I'm wondering, why are we going to B? Let me see. Oh, I know what we're doing now. Okay. That's what. Now that should have taken me to A, but it sounds better on A. But we said B or G, so I might start changing the bass line, y'all. You hear what I'm saying? I might go to A. See. And then let's see, we got F sharp. We got the same kind of idea. Let me see. This little same little. And we got that same idea with that tritone. Now, see, I want to drop it here. So, I want to put that over F sharp, more than likely. Let me see, how about C? C and F sharp. So, F sharp, C. See, now I had to revamp this again. Good. And then we have, looks like we have the minor move. You already heard this one, so if I'm thinking tritone. Well, are we putting this over B or F? Woo, okay, alright, I got some work to do here. I'm gonna have to, I might add some notes. I'm changing it up now. I don't like the idea of B or G for whatever reason, but let me see. I'm gonna do one hand. Let me see what happens. Go to B to G. I'm not feeling that, so I'm thinking I might change it to A. Alright, I'm about to come back to this. Alright, so I'm gonna swap this off to A and the pedals. And my left hand is playing all the right notes except for one note I'm gonna add. It's G to it. I'm adding another note in the left hand at the top, D on the bottom. Go to A. And then we're gonna keep that, we can go to C to F. I'm sorry, F sharp to C or C to F sharp, either way. Now the craziest thing is I'm already on the G, but actually I'm on the A. I'm closer to C than I am to F sharp, but we're gonna go to F sharp to C. And then we said we have the A tritone, or we have the A tritone. But my right hand is gonna pick up the minor chord. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Either B and F, B, F. So I'm just gonna make some little minor changes here and move over the E flat to the right hand. And then we'll put, what was it? The E flat on the bottom and the left hand. Alright. Sometimes when I'm transcribing stuff, I'll be like, what? Alright, I have one more to do, but that one, jeez, we can start this on the F. I can already tell you right now, I want bottom. Well, we try to play what I see first. F minor 9. Alright, then we have the C chord, or a C in the bass line. I don't know why we're going there. I might change that. I can kind of see in my mind like, what? Then we got B flat, B flat and C. Now I'm gonna do this with both hands over A, C and A flat. So you see, now my brain is now thinking this way now. That voice. All because I heard this move. Remember, I could stay in B flat or go to A flat or C. But you heard my foot still went to B flat. Now we go to C. Sounds funny in my ear, right? So that's gonna make me change the voicing when I mess around with this stuff. Now before going there, I can go here to C, and then what was that voice I just said? Now we have this G chord. Now see in the same kind of scenario. I just added the bottom here. Now we say B flat, B and F. B and F. This is kind of funny to me. That means I have to voice it here. That means I'm gonna bring the voicing down here. Now G bass. This is starting to become interesting. Alright, and I understood that because now I can do this. Alright, so that makes me want to change the voicing because now that whatever I was thinking at the moment when I wrote this, I have no idea why I was thinking this, because this is the tritone B and F. And if I switch the tritone to F and B, it'll be this voicing. We all heard this voicing before. Now, why is it over G? And why can't it? Why is it also over C sharp? So I hear these different ideas anyway. And then the last chord, A flat. C sharp. So it's here, and A flat is C sharp. It just can be a D flat chord inversion. So I'm thinking, I don't know what I was thinking when I wrote it. Remember the tritone there, right? And then this one went to E, B flat, and E tritone. So it's too crazy for me. So what if I drop the tritone to an E tritone and that D flat chord, and over C or F sharp or F sharp? Remember, I can do it inverted, and then after that I can go wherever I want to go, and back to that voicing. So I'm now my brain's like thinking like, okay, Doc. You know, how do you even formulate these chords? I don't even know what I was writing when I did it, but it did make sense. It must have made sense to me before, and then all of a sudden I go back to it. It didn't make any sense to me now. So now when I look at it, I'm like, okay, F minor 911. All right, all right. Now that B flat. Now my brain think of this idea. Y'all heard that voicing. So I'm like, would that be over A flat or C? Or C? So that makes me think of the voicing, and then I start thinking B flat, F sus4, and the secret sauce go. Okay, now I went over the top, overboard now, but let me go take my medication. So I'm 16 minutes after the hour. So I'm gonna go back over this and tweak it again to make it make sense. For whatever reason why I wrote that, I probably was writing this when I was on the keyboard. I don't know, and then thinking that that voicing on the keyboard would sound cool to do it on, but when you're doing it on an organ, you got to now revamp what you actually intending to play. Even if you were transposing, even if I was attempting to transpose this groove movement to the other keys, I have to revamp the chords differently because they may not sound the exact same as it would have sounded when I did it in this first. And it's just what 4 chords basically 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I realize it's not gonna sound the same, um the exact same. So I realized I'm gonna have to tweak it a little bit to give it a different type of chord sound to yeah, play with it. Anyway, so that was one I went through, and I got many more. Let me see, a few more to go. Hopefully, not more than a few, but one. Well, just stuck to it. I think this is stuck to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh crap, I'm almost there. I'm almost there, y'all. 15 more to go. 15 more to go to like accomplish that my planet, even if I don't understand what I did. Just play the chords, and then I think at some point it's just gonna pop, and then I'll be playing all these chords in different keys, because that's basically what I did was transcribe in different keys, so I can get a little bit more slippery with it. And when I start playing, get more slippery with it. And then I'm gonna go back, because once I finish and get to the very end, when I finish this whole thing and get to the end, in other words, finish my projects. Once I finish this project, y'all, then I'm gonna go right back to the top or wherever I want to start out. I don't know where I'm gonna start. It doesn't matter. Wherever I start or end, or go from the end and start, it doesn't matter. But wherever, however I finish it, I'm gonna sliver through this. 15 more to go. This is 2026. This is not to say this is my new resolution or nothing like that, but I'm gonna sliver through this as fast as I can to play at it, and then I'm gonna come back and do as it memorizing it. Now some of y'all might don't understand this, but I'm gonna remember it more so than so, because I'm gonna end up going back to it. Meaning that basically I played at it doesn't necessarily mean I remember every little detail on the page. That's what I'm saying. But when I go back to it, I'm gonna say, oh yeah, yeah, okay, okay, I did that already. I did play at it, but I just didn't memorize it. But I did make an attempt to play at it. So then that makes me grow my muscle memory because my hands had already touched the keyboard. I had already looked at it and already played it. So then that makes it easier to go back and start memorizing it from detail to detail, from page to page. And then once I finish doing that, whoo, it's over. It's over. Y'all, y'all hear my plan go from trash to hero. No, no. Just saying better, improving. By the way, it recorded um uh just about played. It's in my play by site book. Go over to Amazon. You can type in play by site. Edition number 1 and 2 will be available for your use and for your gathering. And I will be dropping more chords and another upcoming books. I'm gonna try to drop another 2 more books this year, or 4 or 5 or 6, depends on how inspired I get. But I'm going to drop some more board books. I've already started it already, so I'm already fired up over it. So, and then I did have my uh results back from my doctor on today this morning, and it came back very, very, very good. I'm not out the woods, y'all, but I'm better than where I was last year this time when I was in the hospital for I think almost the whole month. I think portion of it in February, where I was ill with valley fever, and which I didn't know I had at the time when it first hit me, back in 2023. So with that being said, I ain't gonna get all emotional or whatever, but I'm very pleased to hear that from my doctor today, that she was like, yo, you actually have improved from last year's MRI and your labs from the medication that we're giving you. It's keeping me where I need to be at next year. This time around, God forbid it's coming back, but she was possibly going to release me from the medication. But then she doesn't want to do it today or tomorrow or next week, because it's still lodged in my back, um, and it hasn't 100% gone away. Maybe I should say it more like this: instead of it being a big mass as it was in my lungs and then it moved to my back, it's a much smaller size. And the crazy thing is, I can feel it, but it's not with pain. Praise God. Massive pain that I was having, where it was just breaking the bone, like as if it was like a woodpecker or a sharp knife or needle, and was just banging in my back, non-stop, 24/7. Like a sharp needle, long like this, but super long, and it was just stabbing in my back, um, causing me to be temporarily paralyzed, hip down, and unable to walk. And then I was unable to care for myself for a good minute, like for real. It was terrible. So that's good news to know that it did shrink down, but not gone 100%. So hopefully next year, this time around in 2027, this devil, demon, evil, Knievel devil, it'll be out of my system. Hopefully next year, with some prayers, y'all pray for me. For those who are prayer warriors, and even if you're not one, just within your prayers, just pray for me that I get better, um, and heal, quickly. And I'm hoping before the end of this year, or shoot, I mean, a couple months, because I know God can do it. But so y'all pray hard, pray for me, and that I would recover 100%. I'm not fully recovered. I can walk now. I can eat. I can drink. I can wash myself. care for myself again when I was unable at some point. Y'all don't understand life is very valuable. If yeah, I'm gonna say a lot, but I want to say a lot. But I'm just saying it's amazing on how you can have your beings and then the next day you don't. That's I mean literally you almost out of your when other people have to feed you or try to feed you or clean you up and dress you, and it's crazy, man. That was a wild ride for me for that one. When this all started out back in 23, and but 24 was like the worst. Yeah, it was like 2024 was 2024 in August the 16th. That is when I started declining, and then that's when I really honestly thought I was gonna be out of here because it hit me so out of no man's land. Didn't even see it coming. Valley fever do not knock on the door and tell you it's coming. You might already have valley fever and don't even know you have it. That's the cold. That's the cold thing about it, having valley fever, cold or getting valley fever, is you don't know you have it already. And I had no idea. But when it hit me, but I had pneumonia, is what they diagnosed me in the beginning. But the doctors had no idea that I was actually um, uh, was affected with valley fever at the same time. They just didn't know it at the time. But that was what they diagnosed me from because I had remember having that many years ago with valley pneumonia, but never valley fever in my life. I'm like, man, where did this come from? But yeah, it's from the soil. You breathe it in, and it gets in your lungs. It will lodge into your body, anywhere in the body, until either one or two things. You may have low immunity, or your immune system may be lower, or valley fever will just say, "Hey," it's not gonna knock on the door and say, "Hey, yo, I'm coming to get you." But I had no sickness symptoms whatsoever. My wife was asking me that yesterday or today. Yeah, today. Did you have any symptoms? Did you like notice anything going on right before all that? And I'm like, no, I was fantastic. I felt good in 2023. Um, let me see, September, October, November. I was feeling fantastic all the way till November the 9th, 2023. And on my way getting ready to clock out, before I even got to the clock basically, I was in the break. I mean, in the cafeteria, grabbing me a breakfast sandwich, getting ready to go home and take a nap, get back up and come back to work and do my thing for the next couple of days. And before I know it, I was setting up for my birthday, and next thing I know, out of the blue, bow! This pain hit me in my side, my right side, almost took me to the floor. It was so painful. I was like, wow, man. But so that's how it all started out, and then I eventually went to the hospital on a Friday on that was it Thursday morning. So I waited all the way until Friday midnight to go into the ER because it wouldn't let me sleep, eat, nothing. That's when I was tripping out because I lost appetite. Um, and then I had the fever, some chills, and the pain. Those are the three things I had, and that's how my symptoms started. And then, but the sleeping part, it would let me sleep. Can sit up, can sit back, can lay down, can turn this way, that way. The pain was just crazy. Get in the shower, trying to take cold showers, hot shower, nothing. Motrin, pain pills, I was taking all of that. And then finally I was able to muster myself on my feet. I barely made it to the ER, and they was like, bro, what's wrong with you? I couldn't even talk. And like valley fever wouldn't let me speak. I couldn't verbally speak. Like my voice was like shut down. It was like, what's going on? I was like, I couldn't even speak. It was crazy. It was the most extreme, wildest, craziest um thing to go through. But the little breath I had left in me, I was like, man, it's gotta be it's gotta be pneumonia. So anyway, they tested me for it, and then ultimately they went ahead and treated me. They didn't hospitalize me, which was weird at the time. I think the doctor didn't. I think he was a little bit inexperienced. I think or something because I had never seen it before. But he was like, "Yeah, okay, we're gonna test you for that." And then sure enough, he came back. I had pneumonia. But originally he wanted to. He thought I had uh, what they call it, gallbladder. He wanted to do a procedure, and I'm like, nah, bro, you ain't cutting on me, nah, no, sir, no, sir. Y'all probably say you can't speak. I'm like, no, no. But he's like, what do you think is going on with you? And I was like, with the little breath I still had left in me in my body, I was like, pneumonia, walking pneumonia. And he was like, what? And he was like, no, pneumonia. You think it's that? So that's what they tested me for, and that's what results came back. Is what I had. That he was able to determine, but instead of him hospitalized me, he treated me and sent me home after about 8 hours I spent in the hospital. ER 9 hours. And then shortly after that, then he called my wife back and said, your husband got to come back ASAP. Code 3. In other words, yeah, that day I would have died for sure, but God did not allow me to do that. But I felt like I was on my way out, but I didn't go back. I went back the next day, Saturday. I promise y'all, I should have went that same day and he called me back, and but I couldn't get up. My body was just dead to the doorknob. But I went back Saturday morning, barely made it. And when I say I barely made it, I promise y'all, I barely made it there. And actually, the craziest thing is I could actually see myself dying at that point. I told my wife, I said, I feel weird. This is a weird feeling coming over me. And I could actually see myself looking down at myself in the wheelchair, just slowly just dying. And I was like, this is crazy. But anyway, so let me go because it's starting to get real emotional with it. But woo, yeah, I'm alive still. I'm still moving. Y'all pray for me, as I said. And I do apologize for giving you my crazy story, but it's Valley Fever is no joke. Don't play with it. I promise y'all, don't play with it. Too many people I've heard or and seen myself personally have either one or two or three got treated or didn't get treated or got treated too late, and either and when I say too late, by the time that they realized that they actually had pneumonia and or valley fever, they didn't make it. Valley fever will kill you just like that, real fast, real quick. They call I you don't want to call it. I'm gonna call it the silent killer. That's what I'm gonna call it. It's a silent killer. It will silently kill you, and especially us guys. Yes, us. I'm gonna speak for myself because that's exactly what I was doing. Um, man up, man up. It's all right, bro. You gonna be all right. Go take your vitamin C's and B's and D's and all that stuff, which I was already doing long before all this happened. But none of that even stopped what was going to happen because valley fever, whether your immune system is up or down, what actually causes it is undetermined from what the doctors are telling me from their research. It's undetermined whether you healthy or unhealthy or at risk for other issues that you might be having. Valley fever is unfortunately you're breathing the elements in the air into your body. And when it launches into your lungs, it will sit there and wait there for that one moment. And for whatever that moment will be, whether, like I said, your immune system could be up or down. Like I told you, I felt fantastic. I was great. I ain't no cold, no sneezing, no flu, no none of that. No fevers, nothing. I promise y'all, I was ready for my birthday coming up for that year, 2023, for November 30th. I was like saving up my hours. I'm finna go somewhere. Me and my wife finna have a good time for my birthday. But that one day, and it just came from out of nowhere with with no, hey, I'm Valley Fever. I'm coming to afflict you today. You might not live, but I'm coming to get you. And that's what it did. The came got me, and then I start trying to think that I can do all this other stuff. And yeah, for sure, Valley Fever. You cannot ignore it. I ain't gonna lie, cause it's painful. But there are people who would lose limbs, fingers, hands, arms, legs, nose, eyes. And if you get in your brain, it's a wrap. It's over with. You done. You pretty much it's just it's over. Get your lungs, both your lungs, you pretty much can be over with too there too. But it get to your bones, that's the worst. I promise y'all that is like, in my opinion, the most extreme worst case scenario about if you would get in your bone and just be like just eating at it. Like just that's what it was doing on my back. It was just bah, 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 just like a long needle. But I call it a woodpecker. Just bah, 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 just banging at the bone until it did fracture my bones. As well, I asked my doctor today, how's the bone in my back looking? She said it's healing. It has healed. The fracture has healed. It's probably not gonna be what we say 100% healed yet, because remember y'all, this all happened in 2023 and 24. Actually 24 when he started attacking my back in my 2024. August 2024, August 16, 2024 is when he started attacking my lower back and my spine and my lumbar, and I forgot she called it other name to it, but it was attacking the nerve, the muscle, and the bone. When you get to the bone, that is the most excruciating pain on the planet. And for them to give you the right kind of medication to stop this demon, yeah. That fool, I said that fool, that demon was running everywhere in my back. It was trying to get away from the medication that it was giving me. It's kind of like I call it like the chemotherapy medication. That's what I'm gonna call it. And it hurts. You thought that y'all would think I thought that the valley fever fungus virus, or they don't call it virus, they actually call it a infection, was the worst pain on the planet. But when they give you that medication to fight that bad boy, both of them was a killer. Honestly, I I was like, when I was able to talk a little bit, I was like, Doc, well, of course they're gonna tell you the danger part of it. Um, but yeah, they gave me the lowest dose to see how I respond to it. But when it got to a point, I'll just say this, y'all. When it got to a point where I was unable to walk, the doctor was like, okay, hold on, bro, we have to give you this hardcore medication. If we don't, and you keep going this way, you're going to have surgery. And it's not guaranteed you're gonna be able to walk again, because we gotta move stuff out of your back to get to this bad boy. And the crazy thing, y'all, I'm gonna get off here, but so this is my back. Like I'm sitting to my back, but I'm sitting front with to you guys. But this to say this is my backside. Instead of it attacking the bone in the backside, it found a way to go around the backside on the inner part, and was breaking the bone in the inner part. That will make it impossible for me to bend forward, backward, left, or right. No matter which direction I was like, oh my God, if you guys will stop moving me. Um, but even without being moved, that pain was 24/7. 24/7. I didn't have, it would not let up. 24/7. Can y'all imagine being in pain for a month 24/7? That all day long. I was like, yeah, y'all gotta find. I couldn't sleep. It was bad. It was. I know I'm laughing now, but it was terrible. It was the worst of the worst. So, for anybody who want to know how to prevent it from me, sorry to say, there is preventive ways to do it. One, stop breathing. Or number two, go get checked out. You can go get checked out as your actual doctor for a test to see if you have valley fever in your body, in your system. It takes about a week. I think 4 days, 5 days, or 4 weeks. About 4 days. Because they have to send it to, I forgot the name of the university. Um, I forgot where is that. San Jose, I think it is. And then to the lab out there, and then it would send it back. It takes about a week. But a lot of people in the Contra Costa County, yes, I'm saying this, and Southern California, Northern California, Fresno, LA, um, basically it's pretty much um surface pretty much everywhere, but a lot of people don't know it. And where's it come from? The soil. Um, basically, you know, when you doing something in your backyard, you get your dirt from certain places. If that stuff isn't treated, you will breathe it in. That's it. You're gonna breathe it in. The wind is blowing, it's gonna pick it up. It's gonna be sitting on your car. You touch your car door knob, you touch your dog, your cat, or whatever, indoor, outdoor, whatever. Doesn't matter. You go outside, don't matter, y'all. You're gonna get it one way or another. It's gonna lodge in your body at some point. With some of us, not everybody, but so yeah. So I had no idea I had it all this whole time until it hit me in November. So that's what the doctors have been trying to do a tracer on how long have I actually had this. And it's really hard to predict that because um where I live, I I have never really heard of it until I got it. And then I think the first time I actually heard them make an announcement on the radio here in the Contra Costa County when they finally said, hey, it's not a major epidemic. They're not saying, oh, you got to look it up for those y'all want to do y'all research. Look it up, see how many people has already died from it, and then you'll know that we're either in the 10,000 to 5,000 or in the 100,000. But the CDC is not going to go out there and say, yo, it's like COVID. All y'all gonna die from it, blah, 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 blah. Everybody has it and don't know they have it. So they're not gonna go out there and put the scare tactic out there because it was bad enough to get COVID. So Valley Fever is like, in my opinion, kind of on the hush hush, so to speak. They did make it. They did make it public. I did finally hear it and heard it myself and seen it for myself and Googled it. And they finally so Valley Fever has always have already been on the horizon, but has not been on the horizon to the point where they were like, "Oh my God, everybody's gonna die from Valley Fever." 10,000 people died from it. 100,000 died from it. 1,000,000 people's dying from this, or being afflicted with it. Maybe not so much dying, but being afflicted by it. So you have to look. They kind of look at the stats and say, okay, how many people gonna die from this? How many people's gonna just be sick with it and get cured from it? Um, so I say that from when I last looked it up, it's more of them not wanting to put that out there. That is nothing to be worried about. But I would just say this: if you feel some kind of way, go get treated. All right, I gotta go take my medication, y'all. I'm 45 minutes late. Who just texted me? Just texting me. I'm ready to follow up on what? Uh, who's texting me? sure who this texting me. All right, y'all. Peace and love and cornbread. And I'm gonna go and take this medication. But again, play by sight. I'm encouraged still. I'm not discouraged. Just taking things day by day, one day at a time, to try to heal up and not so focused 100% on my situation. But so edition number 1, edition number 2. I'm gonna try to work on edition number 3, 4, 5, or 6. We'll see how the Lord works. And like I said, if I was retired and had the means or financial means, I would retire and be spending a whole lot of time writing books, doing lessons and stuff like that. I know people be asking me, do I do lessons and stuff like that? But I really don't have the time to actually do it, because by the time I get off work and I come home, I'm really burnt out, and then I get up and do these little videos when y'all catch me practicing somewhat, or messing around with, not messing around with, just practicing somewhat, or sharing my practice with you guys. So that's what's up. All right, y'all. Be encouraged, and again, keep me in your prayers. And I'm gonna go home. I've already turned off the organ, so I don't have to worry about that, because otherwise I'll keep talking. But I'll catch y'all later on the next videos. Y'all have a nice evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are at in the world. And remember, my book has gone to all 17 platforms, publishing platforms around the world, nation. Well, I always say nationwide. It's worldwide. Worldwide, all over the world, different various places. Website. Don't worry about my website, y'all. Is I'm over with that. That's my website crash. The company that I'm dealing with, I'm yeah. Um I'm not gonna bash them. I'm just gonna say that they have terrible customer service when it comes down to building my website. And my website wasn't even now up, not even 2 months. And all of a sudden it crashed or whatever. So I've been having some little issues with them getting it back up and running again. So I'm gonna tell them I'm done with them at this point, because there's no reason for this website to be doing what it's doing, and it's only been up only for 2 months. Uh, I think it went up in June or July, I think it was. So that website is done. So, but you can go over to Amazon. You can pick up my book over there. My book's over there, and I'm trying to see what it's gonna do, because every time when I log on to the website, do not go to it. It's Bishop Tracy Clark HotCourse.info, and I'm doing it right now to see. Um, and so you can see this is crashed, and like I said, the company that I was using, I'm not gonna bash their names in yet. I'm a nice guy, y'all. I'm gonna try to be a nice guy. I'm not gonna bash their name. I know y'all going, what's the name of it? Cause I don't want to use them either. Tell me what the name. I'll tell y'all. Give me a minute. I do have to have a conversation with them. They did send me this email yesterday. I haven't responded to it yet, but this is ridiculous that this company sucks. As I keep scrolling on it and swiping into it, it's not opening up whatsoever. And the last time I got this error, and the last time I tried contacting them, and no one answers, So then finally they start answering, sending me emails and calling me. I think they called me earlier today. I didn't feel like talking, because I want my spirit to be right when I have a conversation with them. But it's like, yo, y'all trash. I'm sorry, I said that. Y'all trash. I said I was gonna bash them, but y'all trash right now. It's like, how y'all gonna build the website for me and then it's crashed already? You're trash. All right, okay, I did say that. Okay, I said I wasn't gonna say it. I did it. I went ahead and said it. But I'll let y'all know what the name of the company is so that yes, I just recently did my reviews on them because, like I told y'all, I've been sick for a minute. So I was able to do a little bit of review on this company, and some of the reviews, or majority of the reviews that I've read, they were in this area. Let me put two hands up. Um, so I'm gonna go and see if I can make an attempt to go back to my original website that I originally had built back then before I even got involved with this company, and put that back up or start another website, which I'm gonna connect with someone else that I know that knows how to do it. So, with that being said, and then I don't think I necessarily need to have a website, but I just wanted to have a website because I wanted to put some lectures on there, like lessons and stuff like that. So, in the event if some of you guys want to go there and want to learn some stuff from me or whatever, I was gonna drop some organ stuff, some keyboard stuff on there, and that was what I was about to do with this website here, literally, as I'm starting to feel better. But then they trash right now. So anyways, I'm going, let me go take this medication because I know my wife gonna get on me. Babe, did you take your medication? My miss nurse. So y'all have a good one. Peace and love and cornbread. And we gonna catch y'all on the next videos. Deuces. All right, YouTube. We out.